So I had intentions of doing a live today, but boy, the wind, see how the snow is drifting? It is horrible out there. And what's happening is that when the wind blows, it's blowing the snow. You can hardly see the it's showing clear on this, but when you look out there in it, actually we're getting like 35 miles an hour wind right now in my section. Some areas are getting 50 miles an hour wind. It's a real blizzard. You can see how the snow is blowing. See that? That's the snow blowing around. So it's not been easy. It's quiet. Nothing moving. The truck came through and somebody's trying to. So hopefully it will go soon. I tried to open the door and to tape at the storm door, but the wind was too much. So I had to abandon that idea. But that's what it looks like, people. And it's been going on, see, it's oh my God. See that wind, guys? You see that wind? And this is just one little tree that I have here in the front. And just think of where there are more trees and what it feels like and how much snow is being drifting around. So it's what it is. It's our nor'easter. It has a name. I will tell you what the name is later, but right through the night, when Donnie came in at 11 something last night, it had started. His truck had snow on it, but he had covered my truck, so it's my truck is didn't get the brunt of this. Because of the blowing and the drifting, some places are piled up high and some the snow has blown because it's fluffy. It's not the heavy one. Otherwise, probably we'd have some down power lines right here now to deal with. So it's just what it is. It's a part of our culture here. And we just have to embrace it and give thanks for all things. When you look out on the camera here, it looks clear, but when you look with the naked eyes, it's you see a lot of drifting from the top of the houses, and so it makes visibility very, very poor. So the wind is a problem right now. The snow is still coming down. And hopefully by, say, 4 o'clock, we should be in a better place. But the place we'll be in is to get rid of the snow now so that we can move around. Right, so for all things we give thanks, for the snow, for the sunlight, for the rain. Every bit of it has its purpose. So we give thanks for it all. Yeah, one of the good things is that trees, the leaves have been off the trees in the fall, so my tree still has the dried leaves on them. I don't know, they didn't fall off, but so you get that. When the breeze picks up, you could see that, you could see it. So again, we say thankful to God for all things. When He created the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that is in it, He created the seasons. So we have the summertime, the winter time, and all of these seasons are for a reason. So let us be thankful. And now let me head to the kitchen and make my soup. Alright, so that's the outcome of the soup. So the carrots, pumpkin made it so nice and rich. A dumpling. You have the chicken back sitting around in there. Yellow yam. I will give thanks for all things. And as today, a soup day because of the weather and because it's so cold. I want to say thank you for all things. So go ahead and make your chicken noodle. We have the cock soup in it. Again, pumpkin. See the pumpkin boiled out, so you could see little chicken noodles up there. And the pumpkin boiled out, so it gave it a nice thick rich color. And bon appetit. Thank you guys for watching. Please give a thumbs up and leave a nice comment. Thank you. All right, my families, I'm in the kitchen. Where you go? I'm in the kitchen. I told to come on the bushes for. Alright, so that was my husband who just decided to turn my camera in the bushes. But I'm here, and today again we say it's a snowy day. A lot of snow is still snowing outside. And so we, oh my goodness, people, look. Look. Anyhow, so as I promised last night, I'm cooking my chicken back soup. And the chicken back is all cleaned up and washed. See how clean it is inside. I took all of the little things out. I put my vinegar on it, and I cut them into smaller pieces. So now the water is boiling, so I'm going to put the meat in and let it cook a little bit, and then I'm going to start preparing the foods to go in. So let me just rinse this off again and start putting the stuff in. Yep, so it's a beautiful day, people, regardless of all the storm outside. We're still giving thanks. We're inside, we're warm. The wind is out there howling. It's blowing the snow around, but we're inside, we're warm, we're not hungry, and we have to give thanks, all right? So, while that is happening, while that is cooking, I'm going to prepare the yellow yam. I'm going to prepare the pumpkin. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some pumpkin in so it can cook with the meat, because I like when sometimes the pumpkin cooks out and you get that yellow, that orange soup that it just mashes out in the soup. I'm going to use this pumpkin, and I'm going to put a piece in so that it could stay there and cook and get mushy with the meat. So I'm hoping that wherever you are today, that all is well for you, and that you feel blessed and you're finding something to be thankful for. I'm right here. So I feel a little bad because there's so much snow to remove. And so I'm going to, I don't know, there's nothing I can do. I can go out and shovel. I can only give support and encourage. Yep, so this is a pumpkin. I'm taking off the skin. Remember as a child, my grandmother never peeled pumpkin like. They never peel all the skin off the pumpkin. They used to skip. They used to skip. They used to skip peel it so some of the skin was left on it. But I peel it all off. So I'm going to wash it. So every time you're cooking, people, make sure that you're washing your foods. Make sure you're giving them a good wash. You know, don't take anything for granted. So I'm cutting them up into small pieces. Because these I want to really just cook and become part of the soup, the consistency of the soup. You could give the soup some body. You can start shoveling now? The girl under the doorway block. When you go out in the cold, you need to come in and have some warm, something warm. Right, so little dices, so I'm going to put that in. So it's cooking. So it's cooking with the soup. So while that cooks, again, remember it's just chicken back, so it's not something that takes a long time to cook. So I'm just going to prepare the rest of stuff to go in, and then I am going to so I'm not going to put any Irish potatoes. I'm just going to put the yellow yam. I'm going to put the next piece of pumpkin. I think I'm going to use a piece of this green one also. Pumpkin is good. I like pumpkin, especially if it's not so mushy. It's like a nice dry pumpkin. I like it. And these, they call them squash here, and it's like it's a sweet, it has a sweet taste to it. So I'm going to use a piece of it. Let me go from top to bottom. I've got strong arms. Yep. So this one is a squash. When you go into the supermarkets, you will see them. The supermarket that we sometimes go to, it sells, I think these come from the Dominican Republic or somewhere there. And so they have I don't know if it's American grown. I think it's a foreign grown product, but it's nice and sweet and dry. It's not like mushy pumpkin, watery pumpkin. It is a little bit dry and good with anything. This is where they had cuts. I'm cleaning that off, and I'm gonna peel it. Gone are the days I used to really love to cook. When I was raising the kids, I was learning how to cook different dishes, and you know, And then after they grew up, I just kind of weaned myself off the kitchen. You know, I don't get excited for the kitchen, you know, and was just thankful that my husband knows how to cook. First when we got married, it was like he's waiting for me. And then I heard that he knows how to cook. And that excited me because when you work all day, you stand on your feet, you don't want to come home to cook. So I'm going to put them in here and then I just wash everything and put them in. So that's for the pumpkin. The next thing I'm going to put in, I want to make sure, I know this is going to be a lot of orangey color, but I also want to put a carrot in, and these carrots are nice and sweet. I mean, they're very big, so you know they have some kind of stuff in it that's not natural, but some things you have to just pray and hope. So I am cleaning the carrot. And once I clean this up, I like to, when we buy the smaller carrots, if we look for the organic carrots, especially in Whole Foods, and we hope that in a few years we don't hear that, oh, their stuff was not organic at all. But when we get them, I would clean them up, wash them, and I would slice them into strips and I would just munch on them. And then we have the yellow yam. Again, chicken doesn't take long to cook, so I don't need to sit and wait. It's not beef, so I don't have to sit to wait. The chicken cooks in a timely way. Pretty yum, very pretty. My daughter has taste, right? We teach them how to identify things when they go out there. She really made a good choice. A nice piece of yam she got. I'm just so thankful that they're not those kind of kids who feel like they're better than doing certain things. I'm so glad they're regular kids. They don't get their nails done. Not that there's anything wrong with people getting their nails done. Sometimes I kind of sit down and pamper myself, but they're just regular kids. They're just ordinary young ladies who have their heads screwed on correctly, and they do their investments and focus on what's important and keep it going. They don't get caught up in the fluff. So there you go, guys. It's not just, it's not gonna be any fancy soup. It's just gonna be, that feels so good, that feels so good. What the heck? Feels so good. I'm here, people. This happens often. You're cooking and you start out with one pot, and then find out quickly you gotta move to another pot because this pot feels like it should boil over. So I have to make sure I get this. I'm just gonna switch over the pot to a bigger pot. Have to change your pot. What it's all about, that's all in a day's cooking. Yep, Miss Bev is in the kitchen It's Sabbath. It's a very snowy day outside. There's a lot of snow on the ground to deal with. I'm doing my chicken back soup, and hopefully yeah. So here, hope that you guys are fine where you are. I'm also going to make a few little dumplings to go in the pot. But what happened was I was doing a smaller pot with the soup, and it decided to come over. So now it added work. It added work for me to do. So I'm drying up the extra water. But I am here. Remember the days in Jamaica when we didn't have running water, and we had to, you know, you'd be cooking out in the kitchen, on the wood stove, on the kitchen, on the, not a stove, we didn't even have a stove. We had the fireside. And we'd get our wood, and we'd have our waters in our drums, and we would just cook. Didn't make us any worse, right? We're doing fine today. And I go home, and sometimes your family, they're telling you, no, you can't do that, you don't need to do that. But I go home and I don't mind when we buy my fish to be fried to come back to this country, that I help out to get them done. You know, it's no problem for me. I cannot forget my past. I'm gonna wash these now. And I'm gonna add them. I'm gonna add them now too. So we have the yam, the pumpkin, and the carrots. I'm gonna add them so they can just even cook. Then I'm going to just clean this up. Put this on the garbage. And just thank you for watching. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you happen on this channel, please subscribe. I'm not a chef, but I'm just sharing my soup with you. A lot of people turn their noses up at chicken back, but chicken back is just basically the back of a chicken. So when we do our whole chickens, we cut it up. The back is involved, right? So some places they take the back off, and you can use that. It's a good thing for soup. We know that it has a lot of collagen because of the bones in it. And so it's a good thing to make some good soup with. So as people that think that if you're poor, then it's only for people who are poor. But a lot of things that we ate as poor people, as they call it, they say you're poor, so you eat this kind of food. But you know what? It was so much more healthier than some of these fancy things that we are stuffing in our bodies, because we think some things are beneath us. But look, enjoy it. Cook it, you enjoy it, and it's no different, right? So as I said, I'm going to be putting some little dumplings in my soup. And here's the flour. One of the things I always do when I'm going to deal with flour is that I remove any rings or anything that I wear. I always remove them first, because you know you're doing things and underneath your fingers, you know, I make sure there's no coloring on my fingernails. I make sure my nails are clean. I don't need to take my Fitbit off, because I'm leading with the right hand, and we'll just use this one to help to roll the flour. So I don't need to take this off. So I'm gonna wash my hands again, and then I'll start taking care of the flour. So people, just remember, don't do your flour, especially you're cooking for other people. Make sure that your hands are nice and clean. Make sure there's no jewelry where things can be hidden under them. Just take them off just to deal with the food. All right. So, right, so now my hands are clean, my nails are clean, there's no color on my nails, no jewelry on, so I'm ready now to knead the flour. All right, so it's not a lot, it's just a little bit. And so let me get this done. And I am here, and again, as I said, always thankful, always thankful. I know so much is going on around us in this world today, but in all things we can give thanks. We too could have been in some diverse situations, but somebody cares enough to still have us here. So let us be thankful, and as I always say, never live for just you alone and your families alone, but live for others. Support where you can, give back a little, because every little bit counts. So, because things are good with you, don't sit and feel good that, well, I am glad I'm not in that situation. Just remember that everybody goes through their little bit at some point or another. So, let us not forget. Be good to those, because those same people that we turn up our noses against and feel like, oh, look at me, I don't know what's wrong with them, but thank God I don't have to this and that. And then tomorrow, you know what, their day comes when things turn around for them, and you might be in that position where now you need some support. And now they look at you like, you know, some people look at you badly, but there are some who will smile and still help you. There are some who will still smile and help you, even though you didn't lend them a hand when they had their hard times. So the hardest thing is when you were mean to people and now they're kind to you. How can you feel good? So if you support and you encourage and you are kind, when hardships come for you and somebody reaches out to help you, you don't have to feel bad, because they will say, I remember when you were there for me, and so I am just giving back right now. So, my grandmother taught me to make dumplings. So you know that you can roll it up, and then you just flatten it out, and you flatten it out as you put it around in your hand. And they don't have to be fancy pretty, but they are nice and good for the soup. Small enough for the soup. So thank you for keeping my company as I do this. I said we did a live and I was so ecstatic. I spoke to my friend this morning, like for 2 hours. I haven't seen her in such a long time, and it was just such a blessing to reach out, and I think these are a little soft, to reach out and just talk, just catch up on every little thing. I'm just gonna add a little. And you know, her son is now 10 years old. I haven't seen or heard about him in a minute. But that's what happens during COVID, and people, you know, we become a little bit caught up in our stuff, so we don't get to see others. So it was a good live. I enjoyed it. As I said, my daughter-in-law is now, God has been good and has blessed their womb with another child, and I am thankful for that. So the family is growing so far, and you know, I'm just going one day at a time, giving him thanks and praise, just hoping for a healthy child and hoping that we can be the best parents for them. We can be, that I can be here as a support for them. And so as they raise these children, my son, he does a lot of things that he says, Mommy, you raise us well. So I'm not tooting my horn, people, but it's a good thing when your children can really, the Bible says it, when your kids can rise up and call you blessed, because they don't come with instructions. Raising children is a trial and error and a lot of sacrifices. And so you teach them the best things you know. You teach them mostly to be worker, to work hard. Don't be lazy. You know, never encourage your kids to sit down. Sometimes people would say, well, you're so tough with them. Yes, you got to be tough with them. Because if you baby them, if you ignore them, if you don't invest in them, then you're going to get what you put in. So you have to be tough, and be tough with love. You explain things to them and say, it's not going to work. And the reason it won't work is because. And so you teach them. And as you teach them, we hope and we pray that they will become, you know, strong people who will give back to society. So there's no perfection. There's no perfection anywhere. Because there's no perfection, you teach your kids. There's no one out there waiting to just hand things to you. And I tell my kids, you didn't see Mommy waiting for handouts. You better not grow up waiting for handouts either. You work hard, and if you need support, I'll be here. And there'll be others who will see your worth and support you likewise. So just start, and somebody will help you to finish. So I'm enjoying this. See, I had a smaller pot and the things are boiling over. Now this is perfect, so everything fits perfectly. And I am cooking with love, and I hope that it will be enjoyable. Yep. So I don't know what you're cooking today, but I hope wherever you are, if you're in the snow like we are here, that you're cooking up some good soup. Don't be ashamed to cook your chicken back soup. There's no shame in it. It's just meat. So don't be ashamed. A lot of people grew up on it and then they come now and they, oh my God, chicken back is for the dogs. No, it's not. The bones are filled with good collagen and is healthy for the body. So I am going to, so we have pumpkin, we have carrots, we have yellow yam, and we have some dumplings. More than enough. More than enough. So, I think I have to cook a second dinner. I think I have to make some ackee and saltfish and a couple slices of yellow yam, but I'll see. So we still have yam left. So my daughter did a good thing. So we still have yam left. And so I think there's 2 more servings in there. So listen, why I don't see any reason why I should not be thankful. I get up each day and I can never, ever just roll out of bed without being thankful. Because you look around, you open your eyes, you look around and you feel good. You know, you're warm in the winter. You have a nice place to sleep. You don't have arguments around you. You don't have, you know, you can get up and with a good mind and a good spirit, and right there is so much already to be thankful for. And you go out and you can empty your bladder and you can empty your bowels and you're thankful again, because so many can't do it on their own. And so each day I don't know why people get up and they're so angry and so bitter when there's so much to be thankful for. Right now I'm sweating and I'm happy because, you know, your pores are open and you can sweat and cool your body down. And it's always, always something to be thankful for. I'm thankful that I can reach out to my sister, we can chat, and when she gets on my nerve or I get on her nerve, I get on her nerve. and then she'll say, you know what? But it's my big sister. And it's a joy when she'll call and we can talk for hours and hours and hours. It is a good thing. Some people, they can't even call. They have family that they cut off and, oh, when last you speak to so-and-so? Oh, I don't talk to them. How can you feel good not talking to somebody who, I understand a cousin or so, but your sister, your brother, you have to make sure that you're in connection with them. My one brother, I'm just thankful for him. He gets up on Friday, he was leaving for work and I had some money and there were some kids who did some exceptional things at school and and he had given me some, no, I reached out to the program next door to give me some change for $30 and they gave me 30 singles, so I was giving kids $5, you know, $5 or $2 or whatever. And so I came home and I had $20 left for the week. I usually keep like $50. And I said to my brother, hey brother, you gotta empty your singles, you gotta leave your singles with me. And after I showered and I came up to the kitchen, he called to say he was leaving, because he leaves before me in the mornings. And he said, I left something on the table for you. And I came in and he left me singles and a $10 bill. So I had more to go in again and give to a few other children. And so you want those relationships. You want that kind of a thing where you can reach out and they're not rushing you. I'm older than he is, but you know, he treats me, because I would have treated him the same way. So we treat people the way we want to be treated, and it comes right back. in a good way. So I am thankful to God for so much, and for my kids and the relationships we have, and my brother and my sisters, my niece, my sister's daughter, all the way in Maine. But I'm so grateful for the relationships we have, where we can speak to one another and care for one another. And if one needs something, the other is not saying, too bad, I can help you, but we're all there for one another. So as we look for things to be thankful for, I hope that we can look at family, and we can look and understand that we might work in places where it's not so awesome. The atmosphere is not the greatest, but we can have something to look forward to, because we know it's okay, because when I go home, I have my family. And so as I cook this soup, I say I'm cooking it with love. I going to add my chicken noodle, which I think it's a cock soup or something like that. I'm going to add that to it to give it flavor. And I have some thyme, and I have some pimento. For my pimento though, I got these little balls. And what I like about this when I got them is that when you're putting things, I don't like thyme in my food. I don't like to be cleaning up thyme out of my food. So for like the pepper, we have two. So it has the little holes in it. Where's the cat? Where's the thing? So right, it has the little holes in it. So the flavor will come out in the food. The flavor will come out in the food. But the pimento seeds will stay in here, but the flavor will be in the food. So I like these for that. For thyme, I can't. My daddy will cook the fish and he puts like the thyme in it. Then you have to find them to pick them out. But I appreciate that he cooks. Don't get me wrong. So I'm gonna add some pimento seeds in here, and I'm going to add. I have pepper in the freezer in the back, so I'm gonna be stepping out to get a pepper, and then I will come back and I will show you guys. I'm gonna flavor the pot, and then I'm gonna show you the end product, and I want you to make your own and tell me about it in the comments later. So I'll see you in a few minutes.